to BLM to COVID. Big things that affect all of us one way or another is always happening. It's like we have a culture of just looking for the next important matter. Right now, it's all about America's Donald Trump, which the world briefly diverted away from for P. Diddy's documentary. Before that was Beyonce's fantastic album. Before that was Liam Payne's very sad death. Before that was the war with Israel and Palestine. And before that was the war with Ukraine and Russia. Mind you, those things are still happening. I think you can get the point. There's always something that feels so relevant until it doesn't. So let's get into why that is and if we should really be moving the way we do around these things. I'm not that surprised that our world feeds off of consuming information daily. I always say I hate watching the news because it just feels so sad and depressing, but then I open Instagram and I get the exact same thing but watered down to 30 seconds. And I feel like all of this stuff just comes down to two things. And check me if I'm wrong, but here's what I'm thinking. Number one, the media. Number two, what I call consumer inconsistency. Journalists, influencers, politicians, anyone who speaks knowing that everyone else is going to listen, always depend on things changing. And it's all linked to us, the consumers. If you turned on the news and you saw the same thing every single day, eventually you just stop tuning in. What's the point if you know nothing's gonna change? And that's exactly why the media wants to change. They need something that'll catch the consumer's attention for just enough time. Then when that time has expired, they'll move on to the next thing, even when the situation is still amidst. Y'all, someone comment how to pronounce that word. I'm trying. They know that we, the consumers, can't be watching something for too long. I'll give you an example. The thing that really sparked this video idea for me. The other day, I was studying for my English prelim, and prelims are like mock exams in the Scottish system. I was doing a re-paper, which is basically like this long opinion-based article that you have to like answer questions on to show your comprehension and understanding of the article. And I personally love it, but everybody else hates it, so maybe it's just the writer in me. But I was doing a review, right? And the article in the past paper was about the moon landing and how the world perceived it. Something that is huge. The only time humans have ever walked on another space body. The writer noted that the moon landing felt dull and boring. Unimportant, if you will. Why? Because the market took the moon landing and ran with it. Obviously, the whole world was watching because it was the space race between the biggest powers of the time, USA and Soviet Union. Wherever you'd go, everyone was going to be talking about who was going to make it first to the moon. But the second Neil Armstrong hopped onto the moon, it's like everybody forgot about it. How often do we talk about the only time that we've ever stepped on the moon as humanity? And why have we not gone back? But that's a discussion for another day. We'll put a pin in that one. My point is, even though the moon landing finally happened, it's like it was sizzled down and marked as unimportant in society. And that's what keeps happening with everything. But Shawana, we can't just talk about the moon landing forever. True, but it's not about talking about it. It's about remembering that it even happened in the first place. In history class, the moon landing is all about the Cold War, politics, and nuclear bombs. And think about things that I mentioned earlier, like COVID. It happened to everyone. So many people lost jobs. So many of us didn't go to school and had to do it online. So many people died. I vote for a day where we all remember the fact that we survived a global pandemic, because that is not small. And yet, we forget. I still forget that COVID is still a disease that people still get infected with to this day. This consumer inconsistency plagues us all. We don't want to continue to remember all the craziness that goes on. And I see it as an endless cycle and maybe a bit of a paradox. Stay with me. Media needs us, the consumers, to make money. The consumers need to stay interested or we're not going to tune into the media. If we're bored and don't tune into the media makes no money. If the media makes no money, then there's nothing to entertain us. Then we continue being bored. You know, I even realized in my own content, I'm always moving on to the next thing. No, you, the consumer, isn't gonna stick around if I don't. Yeah, this thing applies everywhere. It's discussions like this that remind me that humanity is so complex. There is no black and white, but I prefer it that way. I hope that this video found you well and that you enjoyed it. This better have stirred some contemplation in your head into how you respond as a producer or a consumer. I know I've definitely had that epiphany both ways, right? Like just now. Don't worry, you'll still be seeing me for another video. Who knows what it'll be about? It's definitely gonna change. because I know, you know. If you don't know, rewatch the video. But I guess you have to stay tuned to find out what it'll be. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye!